Today on PiggyPower, replace your old heater matrix with a new shiny one for your Peugeot 206. Inside your 206, you might notice, or other vehicles, this is quite common, that you've got a damp patch occurring down here and a bit of a wet patch, a puddle occurring on the mat. Now there's a number of things that could happen. You could have spilt your coffee from Costa, or it could have rained in from the door seal, that is common also, or your sunroof drain if you've got a sunroof. But on 206s, I reckon probably 3 times out of 4 it's a matrix, or it is the 2 rubber seals here. As you can see, it's dripping from there, coming down, dripping on there. But a matrix I got for about 18 quid delivered, comes with those 2 seals, and to get those 2 seals you've just got to remove the matrix anyway. It's not too much of a bind on the 206. I'll show you step by step how to do it. So what you're going to need, well, we've got a 13mm socket on an extension for the battery removal. You'll need a 10mm also for that, to take the terminals off. There's a 7mm driver there, or a screwdriver to remove the jubilees, which hold the air intake, I should say. T20 Torx can be really handy. I've got that on a driver, you can put that on a screwdriver, or I've got this really handy Allen key style. This is handy because there's some tricky to reach T20s, and then some pliers. Just standard long nose pliers, or these are long reach, can be really handy too. And there's some dark spots down there, so a torch would be right handy. And also, Ryan, let's get on with it. So the 2 pipes going into your matrix are there. Now they're rather tricky to get to. Not only you've got to remove those pipes, there's screws holding that little lump in there. So what I recommend is spending 5 minutes to gain access to those. Now you're going to do that by removing your battery and removing a section of this airbox intake. So airbox and battery is pretty simple. These are Jubilee clips. You can use a screwdriver or Jubilee driver, or you could use a 7mm bit. 13mm bolt down there, take the battery out after you take the terminals off, make sure you've got your radio code, and then this will just pull out the way. Just to make things easy, I'm just removing the vacuum line, just pushing the green tab there, on the back, 2 grey tabs, pull that off. Brake servo, I'm just going to get a pair of pliers and flip that off the EGR plug. I've pulled that off, just put it out of the way. I don't use it anyway, but you might need to put that back on. Once that's out of the way, we can get some pliers in there and take the pipes off. So for safety's sake, there's a bit of paper in the intake. You now need to take those 2 pipes off, which feed the matrix. There's a little clip on them. So pliers will do that job nicely. You just squeeze and pull. We've got some long reach, which is going to be handy here. This is a high point, hence the bleed screw, but the header tank is there, so as you pull it off, coolant's going to run out. So you're going to pull it off and bring it above the scuttle panel here, above the point of this tank, to stop it leaking everywhere. Or I've got a connector ready just to shove in. I think it's 13, maybe more, probably about 18mm connector, but you want to bring it high so you don't lose all your coolant, basically. To get the pipe to move, you might have to give it a little twist, because it'll have a little seal on it. Not a seal that's added, but it's sealed itself on the pipe. There we go. So there we go, to pull the bottom one off. We've pulled it back, and hopefully we can just give that pipe a twist and pull. So we've just got ourselves a lever, if you can see that. Just try and lever the pipe off, and give it another little swing in. You'll find you'll be pushing against the intake manifold on the 206 here, so you've got to be a bit resourceful. Dexterous, I can't know what that word is, but you've got to do it. Right, there's our pipes to the matrix just down there, and these are our hoses supplying it, up out the way, not leaking. Now, the tricky bit here is, I hope you can see on the camera, there's a screw right in the middle of the 2 of them. You need to undo that, so we'll need to do that now. So I've just got these lovely little Allen key style ones. A big Torx bit socket probably won't do it and get between the pipes very well. Now I'm trying to do this left-handed. It just doesn't work very well because I'm not left-handed. There it goes. There it is. Not very long, that screw. Okay, so let's go inside. So we don't have to remove the dashboard, the whole thing, which you do on other cars, but removing the glove box is a couple of minutes worth of work and makes the job a lot easier. So glove box, if anything like me, full of junk. So first thing, remove junk. Removed, and then you've got a bunch of T20s to get this out. The glove box itself, give it a pull at the bottom, pops off its hinges like that. Maybe a little bit less ham-fisted, but it just pops off the hinges, and then you lift it up and it comes off. That's the door handle out the way. And then there's two sneaky little Torx bolts behind the hinge clips. I'll show you in a second, but you have to pull out the brake switch so you can get back far enough, and there's a screw there. And I'll show you in a second, but you just have to pull out the brake light switch. Just to give you a bit of room, probably, just to pull the glove box back on itself, like that. And out. Or you brake the switch. Oh, I removed the light. Cheers. Just squeeze and pull, squeeze and pull. So brake switch is on a simple twist like that. So you get your hand underneath, twist and pull. That's all it needs. Don't forget to put that back in. The light plug is pretty simple. You push in like that to release. Simple as that. Just a little clip there to push in to pull the plug off. Right. So that oval plate is what we unscrewed from the other side, from the engine bay. You've got that T20 to remove. And then you've got two screws here to remove, one there and one there. Some 206s have 3 in this position, some have 2, some have 1. I found that sometimes, I reckon, this is my thought pattern anyway, that is the problem. That it only has 1 often on an OEM status. There we go, you removed those, and we'll see where we're at then. Now be prepared at this point for water, because obviously there's a bit of water in these pipes. So in comes my non-specific ice cream pot. I can try and catch some of that, save my carpet getting even more wet. Right, I put that other screw in there recently to see if I could stop the seal, so I need to get a screwdriver, but you might want to do that. The heater matrix itself will need to be removed. So, yes, the dash being out would be useful at this point. The 2 clips here you just pull apart, but you can do it without doing that by just pulling the dash back like that. Like that. Split this pipe apart. We're going to make this a lot easier. There we go. Little screwdriver in there. flick this puppy apart. There it goes. Just puked all over my carpet. There we go. And then you should be able to remove or pull this part off the bulkhead like that. There's the long section out. Don't lose the little bolt heads. And the seals potentially in question are on the end there. I'll have a look at those in a second. Matrix. So, a couple of seals. But you're at this point anyway. So we might as well pull the matrix and stick a new one in for the sake of 10 quid. You'll soon know if your matrix is the cause, because in there would be really wet, which it is not. And I kind of knew that anyway. So there's 2 rubber O-rings on that section. They are often what fails. Your new matrix will come with those, or you can buy them separately if you did want to save yourself some money. But once you've got to this stage, you may as well just shove that matrix in. I think it was 18 quid with it, and I found you could buy a pair of seals for 6 quid or 5 quid. So not much in it to get the matrix as well. So here's our new heater matrix. It comes with a little foam seal that you put around the outside. It also comes with a pair of seals that you normally fail, and 3 screws, interestingly enough, plus the replacement one, 2 even, that you might put into the actual matrix. It's never their OEM, but it comes with 3 for there, and the OEM only comes with 1, so that might be a little fix, which is handy. I'm not picking that again. Found the receipt. It was £15.95 delivered, and I also found a pair of seals you could get for about 5 quid, so for an extra tenner you can get your matrix and the screws and just do the job in one. So we'll do that now. We'll put the little foam around the outside, we'll switch the seals over. You just use a little thin screwdriver, I'll show you that in a second, then we'll get it. Your matrix, when it's delivered, often comes with a little cap on the end. We need to take that off. It's just part of the packaging basically. Just pops off. There we go. Otherwise it won't fit. Get rid of that. Then we'll put the foam around it and we'll slide it back into place. So we've got our new heater matrix, and we're going to try and just slide this back in place. It's just a reversal of the way you've taken it out, so a bit of brute force. Let's get it in. Don't push it all the way in, otherwise you won't be able to get your longer pipe on. So let's just replace the seals on the longer pipe now. Hey folks, so we want to just wrestle this connecting section back in there. I'm going to just hold it at an angle a little bit, push the pipe towards the bulkhead, push the matrix away, and slide the 2 together, just like that. And there's a square bit that goes in like that, and then the screw itself goes in straight in the water. So we'll go for a second one and remove the water. That top screw back to front. Right, clip your matrix into position. Tighten up these screws. Now I do supply it with some little screws, so we might make advantage of those. See my breath. At times I haven't been able to see because of my breath. It sounds a bit dramatic, but it's true. now we want to get that seal back on. It's that bulkhead seal. It sits over the two pipes. Start by hand, obviously. Basically, do that screw up. You get your pipes and connect them up so we can get some coolant flowing through this little matrix. Keep pushing until that pipe is flush with the bulkhead. And get your pliers. Get your pliers. Get your pliers, cheap pliers. On the bleed screw there's a little hole, a little slot to allow the air to escape. So you just want to have that in the upright position, and that'll let all the air escape and all the water to flow through. So what I'd recommend is, if you have been topping yours up because it's leaking, that's another sign of your matrix, then water's gonna, you've been topping up with water, top up now with coolant. You can probably just hear the hissing, that's the air coming out of there nicely now. So we're going to go get some fluids and put fluids in there. Oh. Notice? Nice dribble out of there now. Nice. We'll close that up. We'll leave the cap off so it can help just to get the flow going. Now refit your battery, refit your airbox. So now we're just going to be checking for leaks, basically. So we'll get a bit of rag, we'll dry that off, and we'll check for leaks as it starts to flow and make sure you've got heat, obviously. Now we're confident that we've got no leaks. We refit the glove box. Also, I've run it for long enough that the pipes are hot both directions, and we've got some heat inside the car. And I've re-bled it, so just taking that bleed screw out, just make sure there's no air whatsoever coming out of it. And I'll check the levels after doing a journey. They're at the max now, but after doing a drive through a heat cycle, let it cool down, check your levels again. There we go, that's often a common fix for the 206 puddle in your footwell. So thanks for watching PiggyPower. Please give it a thumbs up if it was useful. Please share it. And there's a PiggyPower Instagram page and projects and Facebook page as well if you're really interested in those sort of things. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching. You probably haven't got this far, and if you did and you've successfully replaced your matrix, well done to you. Go make yourself a brew.